Hi, this is your professor, Judy Paparosi, and I'm very pleased with your first set of summaries on North Korea, which I have now graded all of the ones that I have received. Here are some points I would like to point out to you so that you won't make mistakes on subsequent summaries. And if you need to redo Nigeria or Ukraine, you may redo it based on the comments I'm going to make now and the comments and edits I made in your North Korean summaries. First of all, I abbreviate human trafficking as capital H, capital T, but the crime itself does not need to be capitalized. It's human trafficking. It doesn't deserve to be in capital letters, unless it's part of another name, like the name of this course, Human Trafficking and Slavery, or the name of your book, Human Trafficking. Those are names. The three rules for capitalization are: we capitalize all names in English. So the word professor is not capitalized, but if it's used as part of my name, Professor Paparosi, it is. The second rule for capitalization, so capitalize all names. So don't capitalize words like captain, lieutenant, sergeant, unless those words are used as part of a name. The second rule of capitalization is we always capitalize the first word of every sentence, and that includes the first word of quotation marks. That would be sentences otherwise. The third rule is that we capitalize the pronoun I, like I went to the store, period. Okay. The next thing I wanted to point out to you is I gave you a document called How to Write Up Your Tier Rankings with Examples. I want you to copy and paste the example. So for example, North Korea is ranked as a tier 3 country, etc. If you do another tier 3 country under that example, which is highlighted in yellow and it's bold as well, just take out the two words North Korea and put China is ranked as a tier 3 country, because China's a tier 3 country. So just copy and paste the example. Don't give me your interpretation. I do this for a reason, so please follow my instructions and use the example and just copy and paste anything after the word example in the How to Write Up a Tier Ranking, anything copied after anything that's, when you see the word example and it's highlighted in yellow, copy whatever after that, except obviously the name of the country, unless it's the name of the country that you're doing. Another thing, you all have to use the template. Now you can change it in not change it, but you can, recopy it and put it somewhere else, but you have to use the guidelines. And I say that because sometimes people leave out a section of the template because they're using it and they're not using it, and they're referring back and forth to it and they get confused. So please use the template, okay? I don't want essays. It's a summary in a template form. And I have a reason for doing that as well, which is to teach you how to summarize government reports using a template and to summarize, as I said. A lot of you would put an apostrophe S to make a word plural, like North Koreans. I don't know where this comes from, but I see it in advertisement a lot, so that's probably where it comes from. So if the North Koreans are doing this or that, you don't put an apostrophe S. Just like with NGO, just put an S. A lot of people are confused by that in the world because you see a lot of apostrophe S's, but that shows possession, like Professor Paparosi's course. Apostrophe S would be correct after Professor Paparosi's, but that's not pluralizing Paparosi, it's showing possession, that I possess the course, okay? Now, a major problem I'm seeing is a lot of you do not know how to use the comma properly, which is okay. You can look at my grammar guide, but particularly in one area, you can't use a comma to connect two sentences. If you write a sentence, I went to the store, comma, I bought some groceries, that's incorrect, because a comma by itself cannot join two full sentences. What you mean to use there, if you're not going to use other words, is either a period, separate them as two sentences, or the beautiful semicolon, which is a dot with a comma underneath it, and that connects two sentences so easily, and it's the easiest form of punctuation to use properly to connect two sentences. But if you're going to write, I went to the store, comma, I bought some groceries, you have to, if you're going to use the comma still, you have to use and. I went to the store, comma, and I bought some groceries, period. Or if it's a but kind of sentence, I went to the store, comma, but I didn't find what I was looking for. Again, you use the comma followed by what we call a conjunction or a joining word, and, but, for, since, as, etc. And finally, um, the a country, a government, and a country by its name, North Korea, etc., is singular. So we can't use their. North Korea has their problem. No, 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 no. North Korea has its problem. Okay? Because a country is one thing, so we can't refer to it as plural, there, which we hear a lot in speech, even on the news. Everybody makes this mistake, but I'm trying to train you in this course not to make that mistake, in order to make you the best writers in the world, because that is one of the greatest strengths you can take into your careers. So again, use it, which is it. The possessive for it, like its book, its whatever, its country, is its. Like his, there's no apostrophe. And when there is an apostrophe, it apostrophe s, that means it is. It's a conjunction. So thank you for your great work. I look forward to reading your essays on the Ukraine. If you want to redo the Ukraine, you can do that. That's the one I comment on. And after that, I do not edit, but I comment on your writing. And by the time you finish the 10 summaries, you should all be much stronger writers, which is a great gift that I try to give all of my students. Thank you for listening.